Good afternoon. The Job Retention Scheme, the government's flagship plan to keep people in jobs to help restart the economy when the lockdown ends, starts today. The website where firms can register to receive grants to cover wages for so-called furloughed staff is now live. HMRC, which runs the scheme, says it can handle 450,000 applications in an hour, and it fulfills a promise to have the system in place to support companies pay April's wages. Well, the Resolution Foundation says as many as 11.7 million people could be furloughed or made unemployed during the next 3 months. Well, joining me now live is James Reed, Chair of Reed Recruitment. James, welcome to you. Good to see you. What do you think of the scheme in general? Do you think it's going to be a success?
Well, I think it's a really good idea. Yeah, I think it's great relief for a lot of businesses and workers that this scheme has been introduced. I hope it's sort of rolling out smoothly for everybody. Yeah, I really welcome it. I think it gives everyone a bit of a breathing space in what's been a very, very difficult few weeks. And I hope that at the end of it, everybody's able to get back to work.
I'm hearing of quite a few cases, James, where employees who were due to start with new employers have slipped through the cracks because they weren't on the payroll by March the 19th. There seems to be a lot of these cropping up.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I was asking about that earlier. I'm not sure exactly what the cause is, but it might be just that the local, they weren't on their own new company's payroll in time. I don't know. It's an odd one. And I think everyone's going to get paid by the end of this month. So hopefully that will be sorted out quite quickly.
Do you get the sense from the Treasury that it might be open to a further tweak? I mean, this issue has been raised with them before, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to their credit, they have been adapting and developing the scheme as time has moved on. I'm hoping as well that they'll think about how it will wind down at the end in as creative a way. Because this is new territory for everyone, and we've all got to adapt as we go along. But I think overall it's a really welcome development.
Yes, I mean, late on Friday night, of course, Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, announced that he was going to extend the scheme for another month. Were you surprised to see that?
Well, not really, because as long as the lockdown is continuing, it's necessary, and it's going to take a bit of time to prepare businesses for reopening. I mean, it's not an insignificant thing. You can't just walk in and switch the lights on in a lot of companies. So I think it makes sense to extend it to the end of June so that we can prepare for coming out afterwards in an orderly way. So I welcome that as well. I thought that was a good thing.
Well, we can now bring in another James Timpson. He's CEO of Timpson Group, and he is helping James Reed with the new campaign called Keep Britain Working. So, James Timpson, what do you hope to achieve with this campaign?
Well, I think it's really important that before this crisis, we had loads of good businesses. We had loads of amazing employees, colleagues, highly skilled. And just because we're going to come out of this crisis in probably a difficult situation, we need to make sure we retain as many of these great people as possible, retain their skills so we can get back up and running as soon as possible.
What about your business in particular? I think your locksmith's business is still open, but you've had to close other parts of the business.
Yeah, so as James was saying, it was quite straightforward to close the business down, but I think it's going to be very difficult to open it all up again. So our locksmiths are still going, even though it's a pretty small part of our business. Our online photo business is still going really well, actually. But yeah, I've got 2,100 shops closed. I've got 5,500 colleagues who are desperate to get back to work, but are at home, they're furloughed. So it's a very difficult position, but we've got to be positive. I've had 20 really good years with this business. We've done really well. And if we have one bad year, we'll have to roll up our sleeves, work really hard, but we'll come back strong. But I need to make sure that my colleagues are looked after and we do everything we can so that when they come back, they're ready, they're focused, and the business gets off to a good start. But it's not going to be easy.
So, James Reed, this new campaign that you've launched today, this is all about essentially helping employees get back up and employers get back up and running post-crisis, is it?
Well, it's a business campaign. It's called Keep Britain Working, and it's a platform online, keepbritainworking.com. And its simple purpose is to preserve jobs and protect livelihoods. So, as James was just saying, we want companies to prioritise preserving jobs. And at Reed, we've decided, forsaking profits, we're not seeking to make any money. We just want to preserve as many jobs as possible. And we've had to make adjustments and changes. People are working shorter hours. We've made a lot of changes, but our focus is preserving jobs. And that's what we want other companies to do. And we want people to sign up and pledge to do that, support the campaigns. we hope this will be a big national effort, that businesses will come together and help each other, share ideas, and keep Britain working. We're on a mission to do that.
James Timpson, before all this began, you were talking about planning degree-level training, offering that to 500 employees a year. Is that all on hold for now?
Well, the building is ready, but one of the things I'm concerned about is all of the social distancing rules and regulations may mean that we can't do our training courses for some time. We can't get all of our colleagues together to teach some new skills. So as soon as we can, we'll be up and running. But I do fear that it's going to take us some months to do that. But it's really important to keep investing in our colleagues, even though business is difficult. It is not their fault. It is not anyone's fault. But we need to keep going and make sure we don't panic. We just hold our line and make sure that when we come out of this, we've got our great colleagues who can get on and do a great job.
So, James Timpson, you don't think the government's being a bit too timid in terms of how it approaches the end of the lockdown?
Well, so far, I've been very impressed with what's happened, and the 80% furloughing, I think, has been absolutely spot on. The thing that concerns me is I think they need to look further ahead, because businesses are going to need a lot of support, certainly 2 or 3 months after the lockdown. So, for example, when I open up my shops, they're not going to be taking the same amount of money as they were before the lockdown. We may be 50% down, 60% down, who knows? But I'm going to need the support from government to keep the furlough process going, even if it is at a lower rate, because I think that's what businesses are going to need to have confidence to retain their colleagues and move forward with confidence.
OK, James Reed and James Timpson, good to see you both. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Pharmacists at Boots that are isolating at home are helping the NHS 111.